Alright guys, so the next thing for us to do now is to work on the neck pattern. Remember when we were cutting this suit, this was the neck pattern we removed when we were cutting the suit, and we're going to use it to cut the neck. So you can see where I'm keeping it the same way it was when I was cutting the suit. I'm going to match it very well, and this is the center line at the back. That is where the center line at the back is. There's the center line at the back piece of the suit. So I'm going to make the line straight up, and I'll flay it up here by just a 1/4 inch. Hope you can see it very well. I just zoomed in my camera. I'll flay it up by a 1/4 inch. Okay, I'll flay a little by a 1/4 inch. This is one of the simplest things to do on suit, guys. Fixing the neck. There are different methods of fixing this neck, but I'm showing you guys the simplest and the easiest method. We'll cut this out, and like I've always said, the most crucial aspect of this class is you watching what I am doing. Even if I were not talking, by you watching what I'm doing, you could simply get it. So we're going to use this pattern now that we removed there. We're going to use it on a piece of cloth, and we'll cut out the neck. It's going to be 2 pieces. One will be bigger than the other. So this is the first one we are cutting. This one, of course, it will be smaller. Just watch how I am going to place it. I'm going to place it exactly like this. Just sketch it out, and then I'll take it off. So I hope you can see what I'm sketching properly. You see this. So we're going to cut by the side, giving a little seam allowance, the downside, but the top will not leave any seam allowance at the top. You can see I'm cutting exactly on the chalk mark, but by the side here we also give a little seam allowance. 1/4 inch is fine, but for the down part 1 inch, but that end part by the side there, anyway, 1/2 inch is okay. It's as long as you maintain your 1/2 inch when you're sewing, that's fine. This piece is too small. Let's look for something bigger. All right, so I think here we can get it here. All right. So guys, now while cutting the second piece, we'll leave at least 1/2 inch allowance. This second piece is going to be bigger than the first piece by at least a 1/2 inch allowance. Can you see? So we are now going to apply our suit gum. We'll apply our suit gum carefully. Carefully we'll apply our suit gum. So we have trimmed off the edges of the gum, and then for this big piece, the second piece we cut is bigger than the first one. So for this big piece, we are going to double the gum. Well, it's going to be 2 layers of gum. All right, we want it to be a bit thicker than the small piece. All right, so watch carefully how I hem the down part. This is the small piece, guys. This what I'm hemming now is the small piece I'm hemming here. So just watch carefully how I hem the small piece, the down part, not the side, not the top, just the down part that I'm hemming like this. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions. All right, so let's go to the machine and stitch this. So now watch carefully how I'm going to stitch it. Carefully observe how I am going to stitch it. I'm stitching it with an allowance of just quarter inch, just quarter inch allowance. All right, so we are almost done with this. Now I need to watch carefully how I am going to stitch the side, okay? But first I'll notch this. Notchings is so that when I turn this over, it should be very flat, give me what I want. So this is where you pay a close attention again. See the way I'm closing it by the sides. I'm stitching on an allowance of a quarter inch, okay? Just a quarter inch allowance. And I will not, don't worry, I'll show you guys. I will not stitch to the end. Just like when we're working on the vent, I will not stitch to the end. I will stitch and leave an allowance there of about a quarter inch. I'm going to show us, don't worry. So can you see, I didn't stitch to the end. I left an allowance there. The same thing this side. I'm not going to start at the beginning there. I will leave an allowance. Now this allowance, when I'm attaching this neck to the body of the suit, you will understand why I left this little allowance. Even here you can see it there. This side you can still see it here. So let's iron it out. Watch how I turn it. Let's iron it properly. After ironing, we will cut or trim off the excesses, and what we will have remaining will be strictly the same allowance. All right. The good side of the outside part of the neck, I'm going to use fabric before pressing it, and I've explained why I do this severally. Okay, so this is this. We are done with this now. The next thing for us to do is to ensure we trim the edges, leaving just the allowance we need, which is just a quarter inch allowance. So we'll trim the edges. All right, can you see? I'll trim the edges, leaving just a quarter inch allowance. That is what I need. Okay. So let's go join this. All right. You can see how it's looking. It's going to enter here. You can see, guys, it's going to enter here. All right. So now I am going to be stitching from the inside. Okay, what do I mean by inside? I'm going to show you. I will stitch it. Can you see I've turned it inside now? I'm stitching from the inside of the suit. Now please guys, also pay very close attention here how I am doing this stitching. Okay, it's very very important you get it. Now that a little allowance I gave when I was closing that neck pattern, you can see how I am going to use it here. Look at the where I'm going to attach my neck here. So that notch, that allowance I left there, you can see I've opened it now to aid me to stitch on the 1/4 inch allowance I left there, I gave rather. So hope you can see this clearly, how I am making use, why I didn't, when I was closing that neck, why I didn't close it to the end. I think you have seen it there. It's just like when you are fixing the collar of a pocket shirt. You can pay careful attention to how I'm turning at these angles. Just watch carefully. Just watch carefully, guys. That is the center there. You can see the V I've made on that neck pattern is matching with the center line. That's the center line on the back piece. Alright. So just watch carefully, especially at these angles, the way I'm going to be turning. You need to take note. Can you see the way I'm turning? In a way that the neck is not squeezed and still I get what I want. Can we see this, guys? We are done stitching this neck, so let's try to close it up. But before closing, those angles where there were sharp turnings, we need to trim off the excess allowance at those sharp turnings, so that when we iron it, we actually get the effect we are looking for. You can see everything well neatly done. Now at these angles here where I was saying you should take note, I'm going to trim off the excess allowance at that angle there, and I'll do same for the second side. I'll do same thing for this side, this point here. So I've cut off that excess. You can see how it's looking now. You can easily allow me to fold it and it will be looking flat. So next we are going to use hemming gum now to close this neck. We are going to use hemming gum to close this neck. So I'm just trying to give you a look on how it is. So that is my hemming gum. I've cut it just the length I need to close that neck there. So I'm going to apply water, my piece of cloth, and I'll press it. Okay, so you can see after pressing, you can see how it has gummed to the body of the suit very well. So the same thing this side, we'll also use our hemming gum here. You can see that hemming gum there, and we'll press it properly, proper ironing after applying water and covering, of course, this piece here. You can see, so both sides have been pressed properly. Now it's left for the middle. You still put this hemming gum in the middle. All right, put it in the middle, and then we will still apply heat to our iron. Cover this piece of cloth and press it properly. Sorry guys, my camera is shaking there. I'm really sorry, it's not intentional. So you can see the neck is done. The neck is done. The neck is done. Nothing is squeezing anywhere. Like I said, this is just one of the ways of fixing suit collar. There are different other ways, but this is something very simple and standard that I think we should learn. And this is also what I use, and customers like it. So take time to iron it properly. You can see how everywhere is looking fine and flattened. So this is it. We are almost done with this. I just want to make sure that I am not forgetting to iron any part at all, but all the parts have been well dealt with so that everything carries a very, very unique shape. All right, so you can see how it's coming out. Let's try to press the shoulders a little bit. You can see the jacket is already is almost 95% done. All right, the next thing remaining for us to do is to work on the neck with our hand needle and thread. You can see the shoulder, how it's looking fine now, both sides looking very perfect. So this is as simple as you can see me do it. So let's press the sides. We're looking at having something very standard, very flat. So let's press the lapel. Sorry, let's press the lapel and get what we're looking for. So you can see how it's looking all flat after pressing it. You also press the second side, and let's hope that it also comes out just like the other side. Of course, it doesn't have a choice. All right. Okay, so let's work on the center now. For the center, we use our breast bob to press the center. So can we see, guys, our neck is all set, just remaining for us to notch it behind. So you can see the neck is all set, very flat. Cool, guys, this is amazing.